Guys, so welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are feeling good. My name is Pbuh.
I'm telling them about the original sin, that sin is an acquisition. It is not inherited. This is Islam. After reaching a stage, every child is born a Muslim. And if that child dies before the age of discretion, that he can evaluate right and wrong, that child goes to heaven. Whether in the home of a Hindu, a Jew, or an atheist, that child goes to heaven. Every child is a Muslim. After reaching that age, then whatever the child does, the grown-up fellow, he is responsible for his or her action. Sin is not inherited, it is an acquisition. In brief, that is the Islamic theory of the original sin. It is not inherited. The Christians say it's inherited, we say it is not inherited. So at question time, these are all missionaries, Christian missionaries. They're trained. So one guy stands up and says, Mr. Deedat, even if this child was born out of wedlock, means the man and the woman had committed zina, adultery, fornication. Out of marriage, they had sex and they produced this bastard child. Even if the child is a bastard child. I said, yes, even if the child is a bastard child. It is no fault of the child. If there is a law, you punish the man and the woman for committing adultery. But the child is innocent. You can't strangle the child because the child is born bastard, can you? No, it's no fault of the child. I said, the child is innocent. That's the answer. So the guy stands up again and says, Mr. Deedat, how can anything good come out of evil? Adultery is evil. Out of that, how can a clean, pure child come out? And my system was, question time, the man asks the question, I'm sitting down and I stand up and I answer the question and I sit down again. Another guy stands up, asks the question, I stand up to answer. And it took me a little longer to stand up. How can anything good come out of evil? Adultery is evil. How can a pure child come out of that? Out of zina? It took me a few seconds longer, and to me it seems a long time. I didn't have the answer. I didn't have the answer. I had the answer. I can speak about physiologically, there's nothing wrong with the child. Psychologically, there's nothing wrong with the child. Ethically, there's nothing wrong with the child. I can speak for an hour on that. But at the end of the hour, the guy can still nod his head and says, Mr. Deedat, how can anything good come out of evil? Same place. After 1 hour of exposition of psychology, theology, philosophy, the guy says, no, Mr. Deedat, how can anything good come out of evil? So I could see an hour's talk, and still at the end of it, the guy is not satisfied. That's the difficulty. What am I going to say? So Allah, He gives it to you. If you are working for Him, He gives it to you. I didn't have the answer, but it came. I didn't hear anybody talking to me. No Jibril came to me. Anytime you hear that Ahmed Deedat saying he's hearing voices, you must know Ahmed Deedat needs a psychiatrist. I'm telling you. I said, look, poor fellow, he's going off now. Maybe he's taken some Mandrax pills or whatever, whatnot. Or he's going off. When I say I'm hearing voices, the only voices I hear is your voice when you talk to me. I don't hear any other voices. I didn't hear any voices. But I stood up and I said, you see, eating and talking about the apple, eating an apple in the garden was a great sin. According to you, great sin. For which Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden. I said, yes. But in contrast to that, compared to that, killing the only begotten Son of God. In 1 billion years He produced only one. And that son, you go and kill him. That's the most heinous crime you can think of. The greatest sin is to kill God's only Son, which He produced in 1 billion years. He produced only one, and you go and kill him. Compared to eating an apple, what do you think of this, killing God's Son? It's the most heinous crime you can think of. And yet, out of that murder of the only begotten Son of God came the gift of redemption, Jannah, Rahe Najat. I said, you tell me, how can anything good come out of evil? You tell me. Killing God's Son? Huh? What an evil compared to eating an apple. If eating an apple is a sin, killing God's only Son, shh. And out of that you say came salvation. That's the only way you can go to heaven. You believe that Christ died for your sins. That's what He's telling you. So out of that murder came this. So out of that murder, how can anything good come out? You tell me. Finish.
Wow, guys, Ooh, I love this. Like, I will, I think I will really concur with Ahmed Deedat this time around when he spoke about the adultery part. When you make an adultery and you give birth to a child out of wedlock, it's not the fault of the child. You can't blame it on the child. You have to blame it on the parent of the child. That's how it's supposed to be done because the child is innocent. The child doesn't know anything. It's not the fault of the child that he came to the world. It's two people that brought the child that are at fault. I'll totally concur with that. And when he spoke about sin, that in Islam, sin is not inherited. It's something that it's not inherited. And again, Muslims don't believe in sin. They don't believe you can commit sin. And I think, based on my opinion, I don't think sin is inherited when it comes to Christianity, because it said in Christianity is inherited. Because if
Okay,
you
I've been
commit
taught.
sin, consciously or unconsciously, we do commit sin. But most of the time, we are always conscious of ourselves when we commit sin. We do it intentionally. We know that this thing we are doing is wrong and it's sinful, and God is not going to be pleased about it. But we go ahead to commit such sin. So when we commit this sin, and because we believe that, oh, God is merciful, God will forgive us, so we human beings, over and over and over again, go ahead to commit sin, which is totally wrong. So in my opinion, I don't think it's inherited. Some people might say it's inherited from our forefathers. Oh, the sin of, yeah, there are different. I don't think there are different type of sin. Sin is sin. I think there's difference between a curse and a sin. A curse can be inherited, but a sin cannot be. To me, it cannot be inherited. A curse from a forefathers, this and that. Maybe, we have different kind of curse that, okay, in this lineage, so person might not get married until so age. It's like a curse. But when it comes to sin, it's something that we do it intentionally. Sometimes we might not be totally aware that we are sinning, because we might just forget. We might see it as a normal thing, as a lifestyle. Some people see sin as a lifestyle. So I just love how he just deliberate on that, broke those things down, let us understand one when it comes to sin. And he also said that as a child we are all Muslim when you come to this world, and as a child, we are not sin. When a child comes to the world, you can't say that child is a sin, as sin. There's not possible. A child is very pure in heart, no matter how, because they don't know anything. But when we now start to grow, I think that's when the sin start coming up. So I just love how you just spoke about the adultery part and the sin part, and that was a very beautiful one. I don't think this is a hard question. When I first saw this video, I thought, okay, it's going to answer a very difficult question, but this is not a very difficult question. It's something that everybody can relate to, and people can actually say one or two things about it. And that's a very beautiful video. I really enjoyed every bit of this video. Let me know your point of view, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more. Like, share, and comment. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.